All right, so I'm making this video for you, whoever needs to watch this, whoever's never rolled with Grabba Leaf or Fire Leaf or I don't know, the local store near me, they have something called New Leaf. So basically, ultimately, it's all like a Grabba Leaf. The one I'm using right now, I didn't get Grabba, but it's the same concept. I got one called Fire Leaf. It's called Fire Leaf Premium Grabba. Tastes the difference, 100% natural. Still contains nicotine. So you're not fully out with the tobacco. I like to use scissors. This is my little tray. Okay, so don't mind the noose in the back. So basically what I do is I will cut a rectangle. Right now, this might not be looking like a rectangle, but eventually it will be a rectangle. So I go ahead as such. I just cut and cut. I used to roll Dutches. Love Dutches back in the day, Phillies, Dutches, all that great stuff. But for whatever reason, like the paper on top of the tobacco leaf that was already included was a little bit too much for me. So I decided to swap out to something different. I initially went into raw papers, and then I did those little zigzags, which, you know, over here in Florida, we call them white boys. I don't really like white boys like that. But yeah, that's what we have, and that's what I've used. I have transferred over to Grabba, and I think I've been smoking out of this for quite a while, maybe a good 8 years, just with Grabba. Okay, so you see how I got it into a rectangle. I like to keep the lighter side of the leaf inside as where I would put the leaf, okay? I mean the wheat, not the leaf. And then on this side, I'd like to keep it on the outside. It's your preference. I think that it smokes smoother when I have it this way. Might all be in my mentality. I don't know. You know how we are. We all have our own preference. So I tend to be, I'm a very resourceful person. So what I do is I usually use the little cap from the wrapper that you rip off in order to open up the leaf. I use this as what I would call my scooper. This is my scooper. Scoop it, use it as a scooper as such, like this. All right. And then I just cuff the paper in between these two fingers, and this finger right here is kind of like holding it steady. See what I got going on? See that? This one holds the leaf length and this holds the sides. I might have just dropped some weed on the floor, but let's disregard that at the moment. All right, so I scoop, and then you kind of like even the shit out. Please excuse my language. This is apparently going to be my first YouTube video. I have not thought of ever making one. I mean, I have thought of making one, not specifically in what I'm doing right now. I didn't think I was gonna be rolling a blunt, teach people or anything, but whatever. This is what I felt like doing today. Making moves. All right, so I do that. I kind of like sometimes grab my scissors. You can use anything. I'm just, you know, handy or whatever, and I just grab whatever I can that makes sense. So I kind of like tuck the weed in, tuck it in. I don't like to use that much paper. Some people that I know that use Grabba Leaf, they'll use all of this and then they'll roll it like this. I'm not that type of roller. I like it simple and easy, less paper, the smoother it hits for me. Okay, so this is gonna be my mouthpiece. Okay, so I tuck that in. That's where I expect to be smoking from. I kind of tuck the weed inside. That way the weed's not all the way to the front. So when I am sucking, I can suck that way, I guess. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lick alongside here. And as I close this, so as I squeeze this so that when I lick above here, my tongue is going to be putting some saliva on both ends, okay? Voila. All right, so I'm gonna go like that. And then you're gonna kind of like pat it down. Difference with this and like a Dutch is that the paper seems to attach better with your saliva or whatever it is you're using to close your blunts. So I'm gonna go again. See how it didn't close right there? So then I'm gonna start from up here instead, from up here, sorry. And then you saw how I used my lips to kind of like seal it. All right, so let's do this again. So. Sometimes I even use my teeth. Totally up to you, totally what you want to do. And then I use my lips. And voila. There you go. You have your little masterpiece right here. I'm waiting for somebody to come smoke with me, but just because I'm doing the show, might as well light it up. Why not, right? So I tend to go back in here and play with my mouthpiece, tuck this in, and then, I don't know, I'm like a little perfectionist. You don't have to do what I'm doing. Some people, it's fine. You don't even have to roll like this. It is what it is. This is just another option, another way, another tutorial. So I'm gonna go back in here now that I cut some leaf off, and I'm going to go like this. You see how it's really not closing and it just wants to tick me off? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go inside here again, and then I'm going to cut this because I just don't think that little tip wanted to stick with whatever it was sticking with at all. All right, so voila, it's my blunts. This is what it looks like. Hold on. That's just sweet on top. Now, what I suggest is when you're smoking it, don't grab this shit and like, you know, do whatever the fuck you want to do with it. Like, don't manhandle it. Don't be rough, because I don't wrap it completely around because I like to not smoke all that leaf. Of course, my preference. Let me turn this light down a little bit. Of course, my preference is that I cut off all that leaf, as you saw. Here's all my leaf cuttings. Now, see, this leaf is kind of dry. This is just another little tip, completely off topic of the blunt. What I would do is I kind of put a little bit of water on here, and then I'll wrap it as such, and I'll put it back in the bag so it can like moisten itself up. All right.